Hey guys, what's up? So it's finally here. We've been waiting a long time. E3 2015 has arrived. We're in the middle of the press conference run. I watched Bethesda yesterday. Microsoft has just finished a minute ago, and I wanted to share my initial thoughts, mostly on Bethesda because I really enjoyed their show. I thought it was really great, and particularly on Doom. I thought the Doom presentation was just awesome. Like, it's been a long time that a 3D shooter got me that excited. It looked extremely violent, which I think is great because to me personally, that's just to a certain extent what Doom is all about. It has to be violent, and I can already see all the press representatives in Germany going like, does it need to be that violent? I don't think it needs to be that violent. No, it needs to be that violent because it's a freaking Doom game. It needs to be overly violent and you're killing demons, and it was fast paced and it just looked extremely awesome. I have to say that in that demo that Bethesda showed, and if you haven't seen the show, I'll link it down in the description. You should definitely go and watch it before you watch this video because that's what I'm referencing basically. But they showed loads of guns in a short time. Basically, they just prepared a little demo area where he goes through 4, 5, 6 different guns, which is great. But when I saw the demo, my first thought was like, well, if it's only that, running around and shooting, yeah, you have a chainsaw and you have a gun, it will get boring quite quickly. It actually reminded me quite a bit of Bulletstorm. Do you remember that from Epic Games? It was all about like kicking and these kind of action moves where you bolt enemies to the wall and then break their neck and shit like that. So they had all these animations going on, but nonetheless, it looked a bit like it might get boring quickly. But then they showed the multiplayer, right? And with that fast-paced gameplay, someone like me who used to play Quake 3 Arena and Quake World and Unreal Tournament and all these arena-based, fast-paced 3D shooters, is just awesome. And I was like, okay, man, I can see the potential in this. It's gonna be an awesome game. If they really turn this into like a proper multiplayer game, it will be epic, and it might actually bring back like the attention to arena shooters, which I've been waiting for a long time. And I thought, well, okay, if they ended here, that's great. But then they went one step further and they introduced the snap map feature, which is basically an editor that allows you to create your own maps, your own setups. You can modify the game in many ways. I don't know to what extent we can modify it in detail, but it certainly looks like they put a lot of emphasis on mod support and also across all platforms, which is awesome. It's a first, right? They want to bring mod support or like the ability to modify maps and create your own content to the consoles, which is great. That's exactly what should have been done a long time ago. That you could really see across the whole Bethesda show that user-generated content is like in the heart of everything they do. It was really clear that they want to put an honest effort towards providing the community with tools so they can modify their games, and that they really value what people create. Another example is the house building thing that they showed in Fallout. You can now build your own shelter, and you have a bit of a mini editor within the game that allows you to kind of customize your own house. Obviously, it doesn't go as far as SnapMap in Doom, but nonetheless, it just shows that they want people to create their own game in a way, and they give people the tools to make it more of a customized experience, a unique experience only for that player. And even if it is just changing your shelter or changing the clothes that you wear in a bit more detail or customizing a gun a bit more up to the big level, right, where you customize the whole game and you change everything. And I think that is such an important part in modern gaming. I mean, if you just look at Doom, right, people are still playing this game today and it still gets modded. The same with games like Skyrim. People love these games and they last so much longer because you give people the tools to make it their own, and that lets these games live for so much longer and really creates like a legacy for all these games. That's not just like a year after release nobody cares anymore. 10 years later, it's still a big thing, and new stuff is coming out, and graphics get improved, and new texture packs, and all kinds of new mods and content. It's just the way forward. It's the logical step, right? Another quick point that stood out to me was that they showed this shelter minigame that you can play on tablets and stuff. Now, it's not necessarily something that I want to play, but they made a point and said, look, there's no paywall and there's no internet connection required to play this game. And it just shows their mindset. It's just the exact right thing to do. People do not want a shitty paywall where you have to pay £1 or wait 18 hours until your room is finished. That's just bullshit. And it just really highlights how Bethesda is far ahead in their strategy and in their thinking to companies like EA. And I kind of also have to say to Microsoft, to be honest, because I just finished the Microsoft conference. I looked at that, and there are so many things that upset me when I watched that show. I mean, simple things like the stage setting, right? The Bethesda stage setting, it was big. It was a big theater and they had a big screen and stuff, but it still was like simple and kind of modest in its setup. And Microsoft was just like gigantic and way too much show and 50 spotlights all around it and, you know, unlimited amounts of screens. And it's just ridiculous. And then the wording as well, how they describe their games, right? Everything is described with like limitless possibilities and every game is overly exciting. And the Bethesda show was just on eye level, right? I mean, if you present a game that you're working on, which is Fallout 4, that is just naturally exciting. And the difference is, in the Microsoft show, the people on stage are overly excited. They're like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever. You have limitless possibilities. In the Bethesda show, the audience is overly excited because there's actually great content there and you don't need to be overreacting and crazy about everything on stage if you actually have good content. So far, my verdict is Bethesda did an excellent job. Even they didn't show much new stuff. Yeah, we got Dishonored 2, which is great. I'm really looking forward to that. To me, Battlecry looked a little bit disappointing, but overall, it was just a great show. And despite the lack of like huge new super exciting exclusive announcements, I still think it was a great show and I really enjoyed it, and it felt like it's on eye level with the consumer and not trying to sell me some overexcited bullshit like Microsoft just did. So I can't wait where the PC conference is going to go, especially in terms of modding and stuff. I think that's going to be quite an integral part of their show. But generally, just looking at the Bethesda show, I just felt like, oh my God, how companies like EA or Microsoft, or probably also Sony, could just learn from this presentation, because just make fucking good games and you're gonna have a great show, and don't oversell everything as the best thing ever. And it's just fake, you know, people look through you. It's fake. This kind of stuff doesn't work anymore. Anyway, guys, these are my thoughts. I'm definitely going to do a few more videos once we've seen all the other conferences. Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. What did you think about Microsoft? What did you think about Bethesda? I'm going to keep covering E3 2015. It's really exciting and I can't wait. Later today, we're going to get EA, and at 11 p.m. UK time, we're going to see Ubisoft. So I can't wait for that. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave a like, subscribe to my channel if you want to see more. Take care, stay tuned, and I'll see you next time. I'm out. Bye.